What's up? Hi everyone, my name is Kevin. I'm KGart82 on Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. I've been a toy sculptor for over 20 years, and now I'm on Twitch and doing some art for myself. So thanks for coming by. Thanks everyone for joining. First time chatter, Chicken, what's up, man? It's good to see you in here. Jeff, Wedge, as always, or Josh, and Wedge, as always. I have Jeff on the mind, and you'll figure that out in a bit. But yeah, let's head on over to our scene, and we're gonna get going. So what's fun is we're starting from scratch, so it's a new project. I will give you a peek at where I am with Frieren. I did do a little bit more work on the base, not a ton, but I'm trying to make progress in the background, and that's why I am starting this new project. So here's our girl. And as you can see, I've gotten more detail going on in these sweeping sections. I'm working on this large one right now, and I've got the two front ones going all good. I like where this center bit is going. That hasn't changed from last stream, so that's where that's at. But I want to get these swooping sections all good before I get to the flower placement, because I am going to go in and be more strategic with these flowers. I think they look good, and you really can't see any issues with overlapping here, but there is, and I want to fix some of that. And I also want some of the flowers kind of flowing up these spires a bit too, so it looks like they're, you know, part of the magic, because that's the whole thing, is Frieren has produced these flowers in this bare area. So that is where we're at. So yeah, thank you. Just so you know, our first ads are gonna start for tonight in about 5 minutes. Actually, I'll start them now just to kind of get them out of the way. But before I do that, you know, I'll put Frieren right. Actually, I'm gonna save her because I haven't saved her since I've done some of these updates. And then once she is saved, actually, you know what? She's saved, and I'm gonna start the ads, and I'm gonna bring up all the reference and stuff, so that way you know that boring stuff is not in the background. Let's see, I ain't worried about no ads. Of course you're not, Mr. Number One. Thank you very much, Mr. Brown, as always. I really appreciate the support for those of you that sub, the support for those of you that come by and check out what I'm doing. I do this for fun and to encourage people to make their own art and do stuff for them, so that's awesome. Very considerate streamer. Thank you, Chicken. I appreciate it. All right, so let's run them ads, and I will see you guys in a few minutes. And yeah, thanks. All right, they have started. Now let's see, where am I? Do I have? Okay, so yeah, I'm just working on this magic stuff. That's what I've been doing. And now I got to bring in the Jeff the Shark reference. So let's go in here. Go to my Jeff the Shark folder. Oh, I actually can't do that right now. This is good, because now I got to go over to Photoshop, bring them all in and save them from there, because of course it saved them as these web files. I get annoyed when that kind of thing happens. Cancel. What am I doing? Open. Up on my computer. That weird cup thing that you're seeing there, I was working on what's it called? Those images where you can kind of cross your eyes and you can see. It kind of makes a 3D image. Not magic eye, but yeah. See, I'm not mad about getting ads the way you do it. All right, let's see. Open these. All right, let's do one at a time. Export. Cool. So some of these, like this one, I'm not actually going to be using this so much as reference, but I think it's a cute drawing and it gets some different perspective of our little shark buddy. This is close to the pose that we're doing. But again, we're not doing this pose, but it's good reference because I do need to get his kind of like basic head shape at different angles. This is also close to the pose, but what's good about this one is it's a kind of a straight on of the expression that I want. So it's this expression on that previous pose. And this is what we're going to be going for right here. So I'm very excited. I'm not reading chat at this moment. I've seen some messages come up. I'm just trying to speed through this and then I'll catch up. I've thought about doing this pose too. I might do more than one. It just depends on how quickly I cook through this. Export. I'm not sure. I'll probably spend a few streams on Jeff. Let's see. Did I already save this one? I don't know. Let's see. And the ads are over, so thank you for sticking through the ads. They went through quick. Doesn't take that long. Won't be another set of ads for about an hour, so we're good. Okay. Now I have all my reference stuff saved in an exportable way. Now I can just actually do this. Just populate them all. Open. There we go. So here we go. We got our little sharky guy. Let's see. Catch up. Let's see. They were the best ads ever. Cool. What'd you get? I'm almost curious to know what different ads people are getting. I don't do the curated ads because I don't like the interwebs knowing all the things and just shoveling stuff at me. I already spend too much as it is. So I just like the random stuff. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a sphere. So I'm gonna bring that in. Not this one, let's see. Insert, pick a sphere. There we go. Boop. Hey, Art, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you being here, man. For sure. Yeah, all right, so here we go. So we're gonna start with a sphere, and what I like about starting with basic shapes, hey, what's up? Thanks for coming in. What I like about, oh, and thanks for hanging out because I know you're not feeling great. So I hope you are feeling a little bit better. I know your fever was going down. So yeah, hang in there, man. I hope you're resting. I know you were thinking about going into work today. Not trying to drop too much personal information, but yeah, rest up, my friend. So what I'm going to do is I found this. I don't think this, I'm not sure if this is actually a model pulled from the game or not, but it gives me kind of the good basic profile shape for Jeff. So I'm going to use this. Hey, what's up, Dookie? Appreciate you coming in. Nice to see all the familiar faces. But yeah, we're going to get Jeffy Boy going. Hey, thank you for the follow, Dukes. Let's get this image on the front. There we go. Let's see. For all intents and purposes, his name is now Kevin. Awesome. All right. So Kevin the shark, I guess. But yeah, so I'm going to use this to try to cook up this, pardon me for scooting in, trying to get in a good position, to get him in a good shape as quick as I can. I I don't really necessarily want to rush this, but I also don't want this to take too long. Let's see, wait. Yes, that is my name. I have been doxxed. I doxed myself. I don't use it all that often, but you know, professionally, my name is out there. So for the most part, I just go by KGart. But on my Insta, I have my name to the point where I forgot about it at one point, and someone sent me a message with my name, and I was like, how did you know my name? And they're like, it's on your profile, homie. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind then. But yeah, so now you know my name. Shh, don't tell anyone. I don't care too much, but going by KGart is easier in all the spaces. So right now what I'm using mostly is a tool called the Gizmo, which lets me kind of push and pull geometry as I mask it. That's this little thing right here. So I can move and rotate stuff around by touching it on the wheels, the arrows, and the rectangles. I'm also using a lot of the move brush where I can grab the points and just pull stuff around. And what you're going to also be seeing a lot of is there is a brush called the ZModeler brush, and that helps me do some more fine-tuning with the geometry. I can do extrusions, I can add edge loops, all that kind of stuff. Let's see. All I go by on the internet is Art Kills, Art, or A-OK. Yeah. I like A-OK because that's kind of like a okay. Let's see. I questioned if I had my name on IG, but I don't. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you don't. I mean, if you don't want your name out there, then clearly that's fine. But for, you know, some purposes, yes, I have my name out there. And I don't really go by my full name on here, but also, yes, my full name is out there because I do all kinds of work. For those of you that don't know, I work at a studio and I do 3D modeling for a living. Mostly I'm making toys and statues, collectibles, some large-scale promotional work for film. I have also worked in TV and film, helping with various digital assets. And yeah, it's a fun job that I really, really enjoy. And then I decided to start streaming for myself because as much as I enjoy doing the work, I kind of wanted to make some stuff for me. Let's see. Don't think my name is much of a mystery, but there are also probably 1.2 billion Josh Browns out there. Yep, and there's also a lot of my name as well. So like I'm not too worried about it, you know? But I mostly, you know, it gets confusing people calling me by different names. I go by Kevin on here, partly because some of the things I'm known for professionally, so it makes it easier for people to know who I am and who they're talking to. One of the things I'm known for professionally, Josh is very familiar with. It's the odious figure, and most people in that circle, they know me by my, you know, my Instagram handle and stuff like that, but they also know me as Kevin. So, you know, it's nice. I don't, you know, we try not to dox ourselves too much in this crazy internet age, but to a certain extent, it's not that big of a deal, you know? So again, I'm not sure if this is a game model or not. It definitely looks like it might be pulled from the game. It looks pretty good. It looks like it's a game asset. And with that, it just makes it kind of easier for me to get this guy more on model. Let's see, there's a lot of autistic horror nerds like me too. Yep, I would be one of them. Although my horror knowledge probably isn't nearly as close to you, because my special interests, they divide greatly and they also like shift frantically. So I have several focuses that I kind of go between, and sometimes like a new one comes into play. So I was always considered a Renaissance man growing up. And if you don't know what that term is, it's like you're kind of like pretty good or decent at a lot of things, or know a lot about a lot of things, but you're not like a master of a ton of stuff. And that's like, I always was like, oh, that's cool. And I realized it's probably because I'm freaking autistic and I can't like focus for too long on the same thing. See, that makes sense. I like to have a little separation from my professional IRL and online. Yeah, exactly. You got it there, Dukes. Hope you don't mind me calling you that too. I think it kind of reminds me of Dukes of Hazzard, even though that's not a great as great a thing anymore. But you're not probably as familiar with that either, because I know you're in the States, but are you from the States? I don't remember that much. I'm still trying to learn about everyone, in the different various discords that I'm in, and that I happen to mod for, which is also a crazy thing. I've talked about it a number of times on here, so some people are probably bored of it. But yeah, the modding thing was not something that I like expected to be doing and just kind of fell into, but I enjoy it and I like helping people out, so that's fun. Okay, now I'm going to use a mask lasso, because I'm going to grab, let's see, I'm going to grab these little bits where the fin is going to be. And I haven't been using the Z modeling brush just yet, because I can get all the things I need from the gizmo and masking right now. But yeah, it will come into play real soon. Let's see. Horror movies, especially from the 70s and early 2000s, metal, especially the band Ink. Oh, that's cool. My music tastes like, and same with Dookie, varies quite a bit. I was into alternative for a long time. I love kind of folk rock. I love really silly shit. Weird Al is one of my favorite artists. I also like the Bare Naked Ladies. They're my favorite band. And recently I've gotten into K-pop, mainly because of K-pop Demon Hunters, which is a hyper focus of mine, was for about 3 months, and I had to take a break, and now it's kind of resurging. But a friend of mine was like, she's really into K-pop, was like, you need to get into K-pop. I think you'd love it. And I'm like, probably, but I don't need another thing to focus on. And then that stupid movie, that brilliant movie, came out and ruined that for me. So here I am. Let's see. Oh, I don't mind Dukes. Reminds me of Duke. It's actually a better choice than over Dookie. Let's see. Ice 9 kills equals ink. I love ska, punk, and metal. Cool. Yes, and I've seen some of the stuff that you share on Suscord art, and that's really cool. It's fun. I like that people make fan music or music based off of horror movies because they love them. So that's kind of cool to see some of those groups that you've like posted and stuff. Yeah, but I like Bare Naked Ladies because they do some good folk and like pop rock, but they also, as much as they can be silly, they're also super funny and creative. So I really like them for that. Let's see. Oh, have you gotten into any of the boy ones? Yes and no. Let's see. I'm blanking right now because you asked. I've heard a little bit of ATs, but not really. Stray Kids is my friend's favorite. She loves them so much, so I've listened to a lot of them. And I gotta say, the Felix Effect, I get it. And if you don't know what that is, listen to some Stray Kids, and you listen to the Bass Boy, man, hits you deep. Let's see, I actually know how to scream, and I want to eventually do that and learn how to sing fully. Now that would be great, dude. Are you in a band, or you're trying to like find a group? Let's see, Felix got me feeling some sort of way. Exactly, man. That dude, that guy. And then so those are kind of like the boy groups I listen to, but I'm not really into too many of them. I've heard some BTS stuff, but not a lot. But my favorite. Hey, what's up, Six? Thanks for coming in. Just working on Jeffy. Started a little bit ago. Let's see. Any low voice you probably heard of Corpse Husband? Oh yeah, I'm familiar with Corpse Husband. Yes. Hope he's doing well, because I know he kind of took some time off because of medical stuff. I used to watch some of his stuff quite a bit because of who he collaborated with. I don't even remember, because I don't really watch those folks as much anymore. But yeah, I am familiar with Corpse Husband. I've not listened to his music though. I only watched his like YouTube gaming stuff when he was collabing with people. It might have been Mouse at the time. I don't remember. But what was I saying? I think I got distracted. Oh, well, let's see. Art. Let's see, mostly do ink covers, and one or two of them, like Communion of the Cursed or Funeral Derangements. Oh, those are fun sounding songs. I'll have to check those. If you posted them, I'll go find them. If you haven't posted them, post them, because I'd like to hear those. Let's see, I feel like I fell behind a little bit. Let's see. That was introduced to me like, oh, this better not awaken anything in me. Let's see. I only heard of a couple songs by him. Some were catchy. That's cool. Yeah, no, I forgot that he did music. And someone else that I watch on Twitch, eHoodle, she's really cool. Oh, also, before we move any further, I want to shout out an awesome person. Let's see if I can do this right. Shout out. Let me go scroll up. Here we go, Jess. Did I do it right? Yay! So if you get a chance, Wedge is here. If you're still here, thanks for coming in. Cool guy. He is an awesome buddy. He just made Affiliate 2. He plays Hearthstone, and he's got shrimps, and he paints. Hey, what's up? Yeah, no problem, man. He paints Warhammer figures, and what else do you paint, man? I'm sure there's other stuff you paint. Go ahead and like if you want to say a little bit of what you do, because I watch you, but most of the time I see you painting Hearthstone or playing Hearthstone and painting some Warhammer stuff. Let's see. He paints minis, and he's awesome and he's cool. And if you can, give him a follow. He's a homie. So let me backtrack because I feel like I'm falling behind. I'm not used to all these chatters and stuff like that. A6. Yes, exactly. W. Let's see. I only heard it for a couple of catchy songs. Let's see. When you click on funeral derangement, be warned because it starts a 11 like, or starts at 11. Pretty much hits like truck immediately. All right. Good to know. Thanks for the warning, Art. But so we talked about the boy groups. I like the girl groups, and so my friend, we kind of like go back and forth to each other. She sends me different boy groups and a lot of Stray Kids stuff, and I send her like Cat's Eye stuff. The only reason I like Cat's Eye is because of that dang show on Netflix. So that's kind of like the first thing that got me with K-pop. I thought they were fun. And that show was crazy. And then there's a group called Illit, sometimes called Islet, and I really like them. Their choreography is really good and intense. Their stuff's kind of bubblegummy, and they get a lot of TikTok trending going with their music. So I actually didn't realize I was a fan of them until I put 2 and 2 together, because I had already like liked their music. And yeah, that's another thing that's awesome with Wedge, is he's really into all kinds of music, just like myself and Dookie. And I've shared some of these things with him, and I think he enjoyed them a little bit too. All right. Doing all right. We're getting the basic profile going. Obviously, Jeff is a little bit more rotund, so we'll get there, but I'll puff him out a little bit more right now. Let's see. Dude, ever since you shared Dare, my brain exploded. Really? Is it because like you hadn't thought of it in a long time, or had you not heard that one before? Also a big Gorillaz fan, like from the jump. So I forgot what night it was, but we were all listening and sharing stuff, and we were talking about Gorillaz, and I shared Dare because it's not one of their biggest hits, but it's definitely one of the radio plays, and it just hits right. Literally never heard it. Wow, that's crazy, man. So you listen to the same music over and over and over again. I get it. Me too. That's why it's great when all of us tisms get together. We can expand each other's horizons because we all listen to our own little bubbles of shit. Let's see. I got tickets to see them again one more time. Oh, that's awesome. They are doing like some exhibition here where I am, and I kind of want to go, but I don't know because you know, time and money are always tight. So I'm not even sure if I'll be able to get to do that, but I'm thinking I might, just because it's a rare opportunity. But for those of you that are here for Jeff, thank you for coming. I did show what I was doing earlier. What I've been working on is Frieren or Frieren, depending on how you want to say it. I love the anime. I'm excited to start watching season 2. I have not yet because she is on Crunchyroll, and I don't have Crunchyroll. I started watching on Netflix, so I gotta wait. But I'll get there. Let's see. All right, bro. I'm the same with Ink, and metalcore bands is all I listen to. I also share birthday with 2D. Oh, that's really cool. What's everyone's favorite Gorillaz character? Is anybody else besides? I know Wedge listens a little bit and is familiar with Gorillaz. Clearly, Dukes, you are too. Noodle is my favorite Gorillaz character. I just, ever since the beginning, I enjoyed the fact that she was just this little powerhouse playing the guitar. I loved her vibe. Let's see. I do not watch them enough to know the names, but the funny looking one. I mean, they're all kind of funny looking. Like, what is particularly funny looking about the one that you like? Or are you just being you and doing this to me? Murdoch is the bassist. He's tall and kind of gross looking. Noodle is the small girl one, although, like, because she was a kid when they started, she's like aged up through the years, which I think has been really cool too. Sharp teeth. Okay, I think that's Murdoch then, because he's the only one that has like sharp teeth. So yeah, Murdoch, he's the bassist, and he's got that like kind of crazy bangs and stuff like that. 2D's got the white eyes, and he's the lead singer. And then Russell is the drummer. I also really like Russell because I'm a drummer too, and I also enjoy that he's the rapper. So I think that's really fun that the drummer is the rapper, because I am partial to rap. All of my most of the favorite members in the K-pop groups that I like are the rappers, and also the Bare Naked Ladies rap a lot, so it's really kind of funny. I know probably people don't see me as someone who likes rap. I also like just folks that are traditionally rappers, that it's not just part of their group and their music, but that's like exclusively what they do. But yeah. Let's see. Do they have blue hair? If so, that's 2D. Yeah, 2D has blue hair. But no, he said shark teeth, which I think would be Murdoch, because Murdoch is the only one that has like sharp teeth like that. So that's probably what it is, who it is. Let's see. Was Pumped, they had both Dell and Black thought on stage and SNL. Oh yeah, I know. I haven't watched the SNL performance yet. And that is, I thought that was really cool that they were out there, because I don't think in their concerts they're really visible, which is cool. I mean, I like that. That was part of what hooked me early on, was just, you knew who the guys were, but the whole thing was this band is this group of animated characters, and that's really fun. Okay, let's see. Is there a better? Oh, there we go. I kind of want to use this to nail the profile of the tail. Okay. So he posted those songs and tagged you for it. Thank you, Art. Yeah, I'll check that out either after stream or tomorrow for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to listen to those. I still need to listen and watch Gorillaz' new short film. I haven't done that yet. I mentioned it to you, Wedge, that I was going to watch it yesterday, and I didn't. So I still need to do it. Let's see. I sent that to Wade, and he about lost it. Wait, oh, the new short you sent to Wade? Or you sent the SNL performance to Wade? Let's see, I love that in the last maybe 3 or 4 records, they have really invited more artists to collab with. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things too, is because like they do so many more things besides working together and doing the Gorillaz thing. So I think it's really awesome that they collab with other artists, because it just takes the weight off of them too, and it allows them to be a little bit more creative as well. But yeah, I do like all the remixes. I do like when they do straight up collabs with other people. It's just really, it's really cool. Gorillas is awesome. And all of you guys are awesome. I'm loving tonight. I kind of strategically, for this taking a break from Frieren project, picked Jeff because I know a lot of people like Rivals, and I thought that might get people's attention. So yes, I was being strategic, but also, like, even though I don't play Rivals and I'm not a big multiplayer gamer, you know, I'm a Marvel guy, and as soon as I saw Jeff the Shark a long time ago, I thought, you know, this guy is cute as hell. So I got super excited. Let's see, are you gonna give him a fade? No, I'm not gonna do the fade. I mean, I'm gonna have the model, so who knows what I'm gonna do with him in the future. But for this, you know, quick project, I plan on only doing kind of like a basic pose in him and his general state. But like I said, I will have him, and I will save kind of like the basic neutral pose of him as well. So that way I'll be able to do stuff with him in the future. That's what I did with Frieren too. So I have the Frieren pose all done out, but I have a basic Frieren that I also can use in the future if I want to do another pose or, you know, whatever. Pretty much that's basically it. It's kind of standard, at least for me in the industry, to have a neutral pose saved just in case you have to go back to it, but also to have something to go to if you happen to be doing another product with that character. Like I said, I make a lot of toys, and sometimes other companies will get the license for something, and if you have a good start already, it saves time on these things. Let's see. Oh, there is probably a new Frieren episode. That's true. Yeah, I can't wait till it shows up on Netflix. I wouldn't mind getting Crunchyroll, but I'm the only one really in the house that is into anime. I also would like Shudder, but I'm the only one in the house that's into horror. So I saved the money by waiting for things, and some things I'll never get there. I know there's some Shudder originals that are really cool, and I probably will never see them. And that's okay. But yeah, I do love horror, and I love anime. And I really enjoyed all the Marvel Rivals designs, but specifically Jeff. He's just a really cute character. The kiddo likes him too, so, and I know lots of awesome folks I know like him, and I thought it would be fun to do something that I know folks will like as I take this break from Frieren. And mind you, it's not really a break. It's a break for you guys that are viewing, because I'm right now doing some like monotonous stuff with her. But it's not really a break, because I am still working on her. Just like I showed earlier, for those of you that weren't here right at the start of stream, I did make a little bit of side progress on Frieren, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until I get her to a state where I can start the engineering process. And even though that is also kind of tedious, that is something that I don't see a lot of people doing live and demonstrating and teaching. So I definitely want to do that. I have realized that I haven't really talked much about what I'm doing tonight because we've been having so much fun talking about music and art and stuff. So thank you for all the great conversation. But if anybody has questions about what I've been doing, about what I do, or any of that stuff, also feel free. And I hope you've been kind of enjoying this process of watching this guy come together. Yar. Six, I wonder how you're doing. How is Pop doing? Still enjoying the being weighted on hand and foot? I hope so. Let's see. The 3D stuff is insane. All I do is sketch or paint masks. Don't say all you do. He's enjoying it. Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad, man. That stuff, even if it's like procedures that are simple, it's always a little scary. I remember my dad went in for surgery and stuff, and yeah, it's tough. So it's always nice to hear that people are recovering well. Painting is very cool, and I've seen your stuff, man. Don't downplay what you do. Especially looking at my stuff, man. I have imposter syndrome so much, where I used to. I'm better at it now, but yeah, it's really easy to like look at other people and go, oh, I only do this, or my stuff's not as good, or I'm just starting, or whatever. Fuck that noise, man. Forget that shit. You're creating, and that is awesome. That's badass. Are you saying it's the worst, just the whole like waiting for surgical outcome stuff, or imposter syndrome? Because yes, both are the worst, actually. Imposter syndrome. Oh, okay. Sorry, you know what? For a second there, I thought you were 6 because you're both purple on my screen, and your names are slightly similar in length. So I thought that was a follow-up. But yes, imposter syndrome is the worst, Wedge. I hate it so much, and I have it all the time. And it doesn't really matter like how good you are at anything. Imposter syndrome. Yes, that's when you really want to make some good ramen, but you just aren't confident in your noodle skills. See, when you're not Italian enough. That would also be me. I am a melting pot myself. Ooh, I'm going to hydrate. So yeah, but I have watched people play Marvel Rivals. It's fun to watch. I can't follow it because I've not watched enough of it. It's just chaos to me, but it's cool seeing all the characters battle and use their different powers and see people that are really good strategize and work together. It's a fun looking game, but I definitely don't plan on playing it ever. Just because multiplayer stuff for me is just it's not for me. Yeah, just generally. Let's see, I saw Marvel Rivals in your title at a glance and thought, Gart plays Rivals? Yeah, I know. I had to be careful with that. But, you know, people bait all the time, so why not me every once in a while? Also, you cool with Gart reminds me of Garp, Luffy's grandma. You know, it's really funny. I was having a conversation the other day. Actually, I mentioned it in one of Noodle's streams, not Noodle from Gorillas, Nerf Noodle, who is a streamer that Dookie and I mutually watch. But yeah, she called me Jart on accident, and that got me pointing out that that particular day I got so many different versions of my name. I'm fine with Gart. A lot of people call me Gart. Actually, I think Noodle was like the first person to start calling me Gart. I've gotten that day I got Gort, Gert, Jart. There's another streamer who also hasn't. I think it's Ehoodle, and she calls me Cart. She just skips the G. And they're also a lot of people just call me KGart, but I don't care. It's kind of fun to hear and see how different people interpret the name. It is KGart, but it also is kind of KGart. Because as you noticed, Dukes, my name is Kevin, so there's the K, and my initial is G, and with the way my last name works, their art, or the R part is in there, so it kind of works with my last name as well, which also professionally a lot of people know. So it's kind of just a play together. But, you know, whatever works for you, whatever's fun. Gart is what people mostly call me off here. KGart is generally who I am, so yeah. Let's see. Now I gotta catch up on chat. Let's see. At least you don't have feet on your yes, at least I don't have feet on my tags. Let's see. Now think about funny ways to mispronounce your name. Go for it, man. Have fun with it. It doesn't bother me, man. I've heard it all at this point. And if you come up with something new, it'll impress me more than anything. See, I was thinking about that earlier, honestly. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. I'm like, it's KGart, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it is, technically. Especially if you look at my logo, which I would say give credit to Josh Brown on that one. Because for a while he was like, man, you need a logo. Man, you need a logo. Man, you need a logo. Kevin Kardashikov. Yeah. You got it. You figured it out. Kevin Gardashnikov. I am Italian and Spanish and Russian. There you go. Cat's out of the bag. It was selfish. I needed the logo for my shop. I know. But it's good. It prompted me. I hadn't been thinking of anything, and it got to the point where, like, you were bugging me about it because you wanted it for the shop for stuff, and then I was starting to do this stuff soon, and I was like, yeah, I need to do something. So thank you for that. Let's see. I'm autistic as shit. Yes, Art, you are, and that's okay. So am I. We're also artistic, autistically artistic. And just to be upfront, yes, I do say that I am autistic. I am not officially diagnosed because that shit is expensive, but my son is officially diagnosed, and we are too much alike. and he did diagnose me himself. So there you go. Let's see, speaking of my shop, we should talk Sentinels and Skulls sometime. No rush, just keeping it alive. Thank you. Keep reminding me, man. I know Wade's supposed to drop all the pending Odious stuff to me soon-ish. I don't know if he talked about that on stream at all this past week. I know he's wanted to give it to me for a while, but he's running kind of behind schedule and stuff, so I still don't know exactly when, but that is mostly what's coming. I have started getting people to, or not getting people, but people have been coming to me asking about commission stuff, but I know we've talked about this for a while, so definitely the Sentinel thing, I already kind of had plans to do that when I was still talking to Machu about it initially. That was something that he and I talked about, and so that's like really a continuation of that conversation, you know? Let's see. Gonna do more odious sculpts on here. I might. It just depends on how quickly things need to get done. I might juggle between Jeff and that. And what it might come down to is, like, it won't be odious sculpts, it'll be the accessories mostly. Maybe another head sculpt. Excuse me, pardon me, I burped a little bit. But yeah, there's lots of accessories that need to be done, and that's a big part of it. There was talk of another head sculpt, but I'm not sure. The wolf is done, the other wolf head, but I still need to finish up kind of like the engineering and some of the last fur detail stuff. I need to print that out. All right. I definitely have been enjoying getting this guy going. Again, thank you all for being here. The next ad break, it looks like it's going to be in about 12 minutes, so we still got a lot of time to hang around and chat. We can talk about more art stuff. We can talk about more TV shows and music and shit. I do enjoy that, that's for sure. Let's see. Wrapped up all my Toylanta stuff and mailed it out today, so taking a breather for a few. That's good, man. I know you had a lot to prepare for that, so I'm glad you're able to finally take a bit of time for yourself on that. All right, now I gotta figure out best places for these leg placements. Now the way I'm doing this, there's lots of different ways. Obviously you can, there's lots of different ways you can start projects. I like to use basic shapes as much as I can to start from and build off of that, if I can. What I did there is I didn't have symmetry on, so I masked half of it and redid the symmetry so it would mirror it on the other side. And now I'll put symmetry back on, so that way whatever I do on one side is being affected on the other. But yeah, I like Jeff. He's a really cute character. I like Marvel stuff generally, so it just kind of made sense as a fun branch off project to do while I finish off the basics of Frieren, or the last like elements for the base. And I feel like I can get pretty close to finishing Jeff in the meantime. All right, now I'm going to start using the ZModeling brush to kind of pull out different elements here. I'm going to partner it still with the gizmo. There we go. And we'll get him kind of like A-posed-ish. I'm not exactly sure how long I'm going to make his legs. I know he's kind of stubby, but that's something that I can kind of adjust once I turn them down and get them into position, like the all fours position. All right, let's throw some edge loops in here. And actually I'm going to do something that's fun. So I can throw in a single edge loop, or I can drag in multiple edge loops like this. But what's kind of fun with the multiple edge loops tool, bring this in the middle, you can set interactive resolution and interactive elevation, or you can set specific elevation or resolution. If you set the resolution to 1, you basically turn the multiple edge loops category into a single edge loop category, but with extra features. So I'm going to do interactive elevation, and now I can make basically kind of like squeeze in. Right there. Yeah. All right, and then this is going to be his knee. I'm going to want to get some extra detail in there. So I'm going to inset. Just get a little bit of detail there. Then I'll flatten out his foot. Boop. I'll give it a little bit of a thickness. Eventually I'll get the specific toes in there, but I'm not going to do that just yet. What I am going to do is just turn it down just a little bit for now. There we go. Cool. He's a land shark, and now he's just walking on 2 legs. So now I gotta get his frontward legs going. But I'm gonna do for the first time in an hour, save this guy, Jeff. The shark. Save more often than I do, kids. All right, we got an ad break starting in about 5 minutes. How's everyone doing? It got kind of quiet, which is fine. I hope you guys are relaxing, doing your thing, having me in the background. I appreciate it. Let's see. Might have missed it. Thinking statue with this or little figure. Probably just a little figure. Honestly, I want to get him in. I'll show you the main pose I'm planning on doing, because I think I don't think you got here when I showed this off, but I reached out to folks that are Marvel Rivals players and fans and said, hey, what pose should I do for this guy? And somebody was like, this is classic Jeff. And a few other people agreed. So this is what he's doing. So I'm gonna make this little pose of him kind of cute, happy-go-lucky. It'll be fun. And yeah, I'll probably print out just some straight up little figurines. I'm not gonna do any crazy engineering on him. Might do it for me, might do some for anybody, any friends that I know that are interested in Jeff, and send those out just for funsies. But yeah, that is what he's gonna look like, and I think he's coming along pretty good so far tonight. Been having a good time. See Adam's in here too, always lurking on in the background. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. That's not a call out. If you are just lurking tonight, you don't need to speak up, but I just wanted to thank you because I see you. What's up, Art? How are you feeling, by the way, man? Are you feeling any better? I hope you are. I know you shared that your fever was going down, so I hope that has continued, and that you're just relaxing and drinking lots of water, enjoying your horror fests. I need a little bit of a break right now, so let's see. Yurt. I'm in and out. About to play Halo 2 with... Oh, nice, man. I haven't played that in a long time. Let's see, a little bit better. I've been watching Silence of the Lambs. Ooh. It rubs the lotion on its skin. Autosave. Actually, this is the first time it's autosaved tonight, at least that I noticed. Usually it bugs me in the middle of an action, so that's kind of nice that it really hasn't been in the way tonight. Let's see, let's change my material turn off this. Let's do an auto smooth preview to look at them so far. Yeah, look at that little shark, little land shark. But yeah, I'm glad you're better. Glad you're enjoying entertainment. The ads are going to start in just under a minute, so hang tight. I'm going to mess around with one of my new fidgets and talk to the folks in here that are kind enough to be subbed through the ads. And I know ads sometimes, especially at this time of the night, and with me, sometimes they're shorter than 3 minutes. So if you get through them quicker, chime back in and we'll chat a little bit. Let's see, might watch The Shining later or something. Don't make good movies like this anymore. I mean, that's debatable, but yeah, I would say even back then, like, that was a generation-defining movie. So yeah, even back then they didn't make a lot of movies like that. So to be fair to it is just an awesome flick in general. All right, ads are about to start. We'll see you guys when they're done. And then we can talk more movies. I think that'll be fun. All right. Have they started yet? They haven't started yet. Starting soon. It's very funny how they... Oh, there they go. So I'm glad, Mr. Brown, that you're taking a bit of a break. That's nice for you, for sure. And when is Toylanta again? I think you mentioned it before, but I don't remember. I know it's obviously it's soon because you shipped all your stuff out there. It's the end of March. Now, did you ship it and someone is like selling at their table your stuff, or were you going? That I also don't remember if you were actually attending this or just sending stuff out and sharing a table with someone. Because either way, that's cool. I think if, you know, it's always nice to be able to like go to conventions and see people and all that kind of stuff. But also it just seems cool to me. Let's see. Shipped to the organizer. I'm not going. But he wanted an exclusive head for the show. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's really cool to be able to like do that. Because it's also a lot to go to a convention. I know you make it to a number of them, and just the travel and all that kind of stuff. So if all you have to do is just ship some stuff off and just not have to deal with the hullabaloo, that's pretty awesome. 1 minute left on the ads ish. If you're already back, welcome back. It was cool. I don't know if you were, let's see. Oh no, Dukes probably can't hear me right now. But yeah, it's I still need to register for SDCC. Let's see. Yeah, I met him at Legion's Con and he said he would reach out, and he did. Really cool. Really only do Legion's Con though this year. I'm doing CarverCon 2. Cool. Where's that? I mean, Is that a place carver? Because that sounds familiar. Or does carver have to do with something else? CarverCon is a new show in Ohio. Okay, cool. And everyone's back. Welcome back from the ad break. Thank you for sticking through. All of you that did. Any new faces that are here. Hey! What's up, Kron? New faces, old faces. I appreciate you. Let's see, Carver Customs is the guy putting it on. Okay, cool. That's awesome. All right, and now back to working on our Jeffy. There we go. All right, so we've been making some good progress. We got pretty much the whole basic body in place. Most of the elements are where they need to be. Right now he's kind of in smooth mode, so I'll probably eventually go in at this view and shift everything around to where it needs to be. But for right now, I'm just still more focused on getting the elements in place rather than everything being perfectly on model, you know? See, I actually sent him the link because he just started messing with Blender. Maybe he's lurking, and we'll check. Yeah. Sorry, not Blender. Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, that's cool. I appreciate any sharing like that, because again, my whole thing is I want to encourage more and more people to create, use software, do stuff by hand. I just really enjoy the idea of people figuring out how to create stuff for themselves. And it's different for everyone, you know? I just happen to fall into this world of 3D. I initially, my degree was in animation, so I was an animation student. And now I make toys. You never know how all that stuff is gonna kind of fall into place. The reason I am making toys now is just a happy accident, to be honest. I wanted to get into video games. I was studying animation. I kind of took a 3D class because I thought it would be fun, and it was. Really got into the modeling aspect of everything. And then I took a traditional sculpting class, and that was really fun. Now, I know his front legs are longer. You can see that from here even. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Shark baby, yep. But yeah, I wanted to get into video games and I fell into toys, and I'm not sad about it. I've had some really fortunate experiences that I've gotten to be part of. Some of that stuff Dookie's aware of because I got to talk about it a little bit because he and I got to do presentations about ourselves for our mutual streamer that we watch. And I went into the fact that I've made toys. I've done stuff for film, talked about that a little bit. I got to work on a music video, only one ever, doing some visual effects, but it was really fun because it's Linkin Park, and I love Linkin Park. And to actually get to work on a project for them, with them, even though I didn't really have like direct contact with them, which is really cool. It was before Chester had passed, Rip Chester, so it was really cool to, you know, get to do something with the whole band still. And it was a collab project. They did a song with Steve Aoki. And so in the music video, there were just like all these like structures that were versions of them. And I got to work on some of those structures. I was working off scan data of the guys. And yeah, you just never kind of know what you're going to end up doing. So I like to encourage people to just really be open. To opportunities, because you never know what that cool opportunity is going to be. That's going to just, it's either going to change your career, or it's just going to be a really cool experience that you get to partake in. Okay. We mostly got our shark baby boy roughed in, which is really cool, really exciting. I love it, I love it. All right, let's add another edge loop here. So I gotta figure out where his eyes are gonna land. How has everyone's weekend been so far, by the way? What did y'all do today? Let's see, what did I do mostly today? I took my kid to Saturday school to catch up on work and stuff. So that's really exciting for him. Saturday school is not the most exciting thing to have to do, but it's just nice for him to be able to get more stuff done. Okay. Let's do this. Looks really sad right now. It's inset. I'm going to start to make his mouth. you can tell I'm locking in, and y'all in chat are kind of locked in too. All right, let's add an edge loop here. So I want to drop this down. See, putting my kid to bed. I understand that, man. You do that. I get to avoid lock in, Kev. I get to avoid doing that on stream nights. And I say avoid in the most loving way. Hey, look at them coming together. See, for real, I would probably just watch you sculpt in silence too. It soothes me. Oh, I appreciate you saying that my sculpting is soothing. But I like to talk. That's for sure. I do really enjoy the company of stream. It helps push me forward. You know, it's fine to lock in every once in a while, and sometimes that's going to happen. For all of you guys that create out there, you get it. Sometimes you just zone. But for me, this is just a real good opportunity to, one, just have chats with folks, and two, to get to know y'all too. You know, part of this whole streaming thing is to be entertaining. Actually, Wedge and I were talking all about that today, weren't we? Or no, yesterday, weren't we? The whole talking, drumming up conversation, trying to entertain the folks that decide to share their time with us. But I appreciate all types. If you're just here to just vibe then. Every once in a while I'm going to say like, hey, anybody want to talk? If you don't want to, that's cool, man. If you do, then that's your time to shake loose and remember that you can talk to me. It's kind of funny with the way the grouping is. He looks like a Ninja Turtle a little bit. Let's see, I'm going to put another edge loop in here. Now the funny part is when you get to this point, adding edge loops, you really got to start redistributing stuff because you don't want your polygons to be drastically different in shape. And the closer they are, the sharper of a line they make together. So you want kind of an even distribution. It's okay if they change size, but you want to have that flow. Symmetry, there we go. You want to have a flow with a size change to the geometry that makes sense. So it's okay if there is like different sizes, but you want the change of the size of those elements, those polygons, to be gradual and even for the most part. Like obviously there's going to be times where you don't, for like very specific reasons. You're trying to get a certain effect. But otherwise, if you want to have a nice continuing surface, you want to have a nice even distribution, and also when you add edge loops, it'll often kind of make them flat. So you want to also be careful that you're not having these weird flat spots come about, unless that is the intended effect. I can also go in with the smooth brush and just kind of lightly dab, and that redistributes and evens out the surface. But you don't want to do that too much, because you'll kind of lose control of that. Okay. Doing pretty good tonight. We've been cooking along. Definitely appreciate seeing new faces in here tonight. Was kind of my hope. I was hoping that Jeff would bring in some new faces. And it's always great to have the old faces coming through as well. You guys are the ones that keep me going. And anyone that is hanging out and just watching live on the outskirts, not necessarily popping in chat or anything, thank you for taking some time to spend with us. And I hope that you are enjoying that time here tonight. I know I am. This has been kind of freeing to get away from Frieren for a little bit. Love her to death. Not to death. Love her to print, because I'm going to make her. Damn old faces. Not that kind. That's me, man. I'm an old face. Okay, now I think I'll drop a sphere in for the eyes. Bloop. Jump on my baby. Jump on my baby. Jump on my baby. Look at that cute little sharky boy. Oh, this is fun. Now eventually I'm going to have to open up his mouth and stuff, because I'm going to have the tongue and all that stuff. So I close it right now, just because that's kind of what's going on here. And also points out a little bit that he does have kind of this beak kind of thing going on. So I'll put a little bit of that in right now. Yay. But let's look at the reference and see how much of that beak shows up in this shot. It kind of disappears, which is very, very interesting. Also something to notice, particularly with this shot and a lot of these other shots like this, not the one that I'm working with, you can see a nice clear brow ridge. Right here. I think his eyes are a little bit farther apart and bigger. So I might have to, again, add even another set of edge loops. Or I might just make kind of like a section here that protrudes, because it kind of protrudes there. So I'm gonna split the eyeballs. Split, masked. There we go. Separate and embiggen these eye sockets just a little bit to start to get that shape. Start to work on that noggin, because he's got kind of a noggin going on. Kind of fades away. Hey, what's up, Adam? Good to see you, good to see you. What you been up to, man? Hey, what's up, Jay? JD in the house? It's going really well. Started this guy tonight, Jeff the Shark. This is the pose that we're going for. I've just been roughing him in, getting the model going, and I think been making some good progress. I talked a little bit last stream about what my plan is with Frieren, taking a break. She's my girl, but I want to take care of some of the tedium off stream, and then when it's time to do more engineering, I'm going to bring her back on and prep her for print. So do a lot of separating the elements, making keys, doing the print prep in the print software, and then we'll see how that goes. And then from there, I might do either an IRL stream of doing the print cleanup, or I might just record it and maybe edit and put a video up on YouTube. So far I've just been putting VODs up on YouTube, and this might be the time to do a little bit of editing and do something specifically for YouTube. See, what print software do you use? I use Box because it's free and it is sufficient for my use. The printer that I have is an Elegoo Saturn 3, and I use Elegoo's Space Gray resin for the most part. I do want to do some, here I'll bring Frieren up, we'll take another little break from Jeffy. And you can kind of see the progress that I've been making on the base elements. So I've been adding the details on the spires now. Let's see, check out Elegoo Satellite, Kevin. It's free too. Chitu is hiding more and more behind paywalls. That's fair. So I'll check that out. Elegoo Satellite. I'll see that. So far there haven't been like a lot of features that I've been like itching for. Let's see. I do all my supporting on Elegoo Satellite. Okay, cool. I will check that out. It sounds good. It'll be interesting to try something new too. I might bug you for settings. Do you think the settings from Chitu will translate, or will I have to do like new printer settings for that? That's my question. But right now I haven't like upgraded Cheeto Box in a while, and I probably won't update it. So I'll just keep this version of it, and I should be sitting pretty, unless they force an update on me, which, you know, that also is quite the possibility with these softwares. But yeah, so this is where I'm at with Frieren. I'm going to finish her up off stream with all the base elements, get the flowers kind of going around, finish all the details going up the spire. I'm going to add some more magical effects as well. And once that is all done, then I'm going to hop back to her and do all the engineering on stream. Because I think that, even though that still, like I was saying earlier, has a little bit of tedium to it, that's going to be more interesting because that's something that people don't see very often. And people have already seen me doing these these base elements for quite a while. I started streaming at the beginning of November, and here we are in March, and I'm still working on her. And it's understandable because my streams are only weekly in about 2.5 hours, and we do a lot of chatting. So I haven't been taking too long on her, but I also want to mix it up and do more than just like one thing forever. So I'm gonna try to start to bounce back and forth on things to keep the content interesting and keep people coming through for various reasons. But yeah, I've been having fun today so far on Mr. Hefe Le Shark. Really cute character. All right, let's see. I kind of want to add one more edge loop here. And then we'll see with that edge loop there if I even need to do anything else. If I need to pull out more and add to get that brow ridge that I want, then fine. But I might be able to work with this and do the trick. Come on, get back on screen. But yeah, I've really been enjoying streaming. I've been having a lot of fun getting to know everyone. Learning from some of you folks that pop in and have good ideas to help me through stuff. It's also very encouraging. We talked a little bit earlier about imposter syndrome. I have it. And one thing that it's still hard to stomach, but helps with imposter syndrome is people letting you know that you're doing a good job. And that is a big reason why I like to mentor people and positively critique people's art, because it's real easy to find fault in work, because it's kind of natural for us as humans to go like, oh, I would do it this way. And that can get really discouraging for folks. So my goal is always to try to find the things that I like in people's work and the stuff that's working. And then if there's something like that really stands out as like, oh, you know, you could do this better, then that's the approach that I try to hit. Because otherwise it's not helpful or constructive. Criticism, unless the goal is to hurt someone, should be constructive. Because I think the goal is always to enhance and better someone's work. And you're not going to do that by being a piece of crap. So I do appreciate the folks that come in here and share their opinions, as well as are encouraging, because it keeps me going. So thank you for that. And hopefully I can do the same for you in some way, shape, or form, you know? All right, let's get those eyeballs back in a better spot now that we're, here we go. I might sit back a little bit more too. Since I'm doing a character from a video game, what's everyone been playing lately? Anybody been playing any good games? Something new? Something unexpected? I haven't been playing much lately. In fact, I've only played a few things since I started streaming, just because with this and just regular life stuff, I haven't been able to game as much as I'd like, which has been unfortunate. I did play Viewfinder for a bit. I'm almost done with it. A really fun game. If you have heard of it, I recommend it. It's a really cool puzzler. There's a lot of interesting elements where you get to take photographic elements and add them into the environment. And yeah, I've just been digging it a lot. See, I completed completely fell off Outer Worlds 2. My vacation ended, and so did my time. Yeah, no, I get that, man. There's been a couple times where like I started playing a game on vacation, and I just could not keep up with it afterwards, and it took me a while to get back into it. In fact, I finished one of the Tomb Raiders, the third one I think, on my last vacation, because I had been playing that. And then I started playing a new VR game that was really fun, but haven't gotten back to that. I was playing, like I said, Viewfinder. That's really fun, but I got almost through it and then got busy. I just picked up Jedi Survivor, and I want to get into that. Partly because I was watching someone play Fallen Order, and I have already played that. And then Survivor went on sale, and they picked it up and started playing it on stream. And I don't want to watch their stream since I haven't played the game yet, and I'd like to keep supporting them and watching the streams again, so I kind of want to start that just so I can help support their streams. But also because I really want to play it, so I have a couple excuses. All right, let's see how we're looking. Look at that happy boy. So you can see when you smooth it out, you can see some areas where the geometry is kind of being funky, and you can kind of like fix that stuff in this state. Because this helps you see how it's going to smooth. But I'm also going to do some stuff here to help sharpen those edges just a little bit. I think I'm going to start working on his toesies. He's got, let's get back to our game model that we were looking at. He's got interesting little fin feet and little pads. They're very round and then have these little toesies that come off. Got little toe beans. Yep, he does, and that's going to be fun to do too, to put the little toe beans in. You won't be able to see them, but I'm going to still put them in. Because it's fun to do, it's more to model. Makes him more on model. And also, like I've said, you know, I might do some other stuff with them. Might get him in other poses. I do want to do that kind of like, there's kind of like a surfing, almost flying pose of him that I want to do. But I'm still gonna save on that one. All right, so he's got 4 toes on each foot. All right, how do I want to do this? Oh, he's also got another little tiny little fin underneath there too, so I gotta do that. So I think that's where I'm gonna try to see if I can get his toesies done, do that little fin, and I think he'll be roughed in. And this is a good start to our boy. Okay. So this, I think, ZModeler, I'm gonna do there, from there. Oh. Use my Q mesh, or maybe just extrude. Just pull those out. And then I'm gonna mask them and then invert the mask. And I'm just gonna use the move brush to kind of push them into place. And get the shape. There we go. So we got the back toes, and this, figuring this out on this back foot will help kind of quicken it for the front foot, though there might be a different breakdown. So we might add, I might add another edge loop in here. Yeah, you can see because I have less geometry at the bottom here, but that might not be too big of a deal. We'll see once we get to it. Okay. I think I'm going to bring this back here. I'm going to do these one at a time since they're right next to each other. He has a knee pad. Yeah, for now, that's just going to be so I can get some like sculptural detail in there. Also, in animation, they would have kind of a specific knob there for the knee with a little bit more detail to it, just because there's so much stretching that happens where the kneecap is. So that's just geometry that kind of needs to be there. But yeah, at this stage, it just looks like he's wearing some knee pads, which is really funny. Okay. Another cool thing with the ZModeler brush is once you've done an action, if you want to repeat it, instead of dragging it out, you can just tap and it basically repeats the same distance. So I know I'm working with the same geometry. In that moment. Now I'm just moving it around anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. But there's points where that can be very helpful because it works also when you're like adding edge loops, and if you want to add the same amount of loops in an area in another section, it's just very helpful. My kiddo's getting ready for bed. So you've already done your ritual with your kiddo. Now it's my kiddo's turn. Mr. Brown. All right. There we go, 1 foot. We're doing pretty good. Next ad break is in about 10 minutes, so I think we can get this front section of toes done. He looks Jokerized. Yeah, he is purple and green. That's kind of funny that those are like the groups that are showing up at the moment. Okay. Oh, don't want that. There we go. Let's see, I do want to add another edge loop there. do a little bit of a puff and redistribution. Gotta even out that geometry as fast as we can. I think we'll do, yeah, we'll just make it match. When we're working on the underside of models like this, especially in the ZBrush, the shadows get kind of in the way. So if there's been points where it's been hard to see what's going on, I do apologize. I'm trying to be more mindful of what I'm doing on screen. Because I did notice sometimes there have been points where like I was working on something and I was just like way over here. And for me, I don't really normally have to worry about what people are seeing. So that's something new that I've been getting used to, is trying to keep things centered and not work too much in the shadows. All right. I'm gonna use the inflate brush just to kind of quickly do like a little bit of a puff along this loop. Oh, and happy Pie Day, by the way. I totally forgot that it's Pie Day. Did not go out and get pie today. I love it though. I didn't completely forget. Obviously, Art, if you're still here, we were talking about, we were mentioning it a little bit in the Discord. I think. I know it's in a couple Discords. But yeah, if you got some pie today, congratulations. You are better than I. Okay. All right, did it on the side, so we'll do that again. Oh. I'll extrude those. We'll mask them off and inverse so that way I can work on them and get them into that shape. I am really excited to start sharing Jeff on some of the Discords that I share art on, because that's again where I know people are kind of interested in him, so I'll be curious to see what people think of him, get some feedback, and also it'll be nice in those spaces to share something new too, because I've been constantly showing and plugging Frieren in those spaces, and there have been a few of those spaces where for a while I wasn't the primary person doing art, and then some of the other people posting stuff kind of stopped posting stuff. And I don't know if it's because I was posting stuff. Sometimes I felt like I was posting too much. I hope that wasn't the case, but also I only posted like once a week, so ads are going to start in 5 minutes. Let's see. Bet you can sell a good amount of these to toy people on IG. Maybe. We'll see. Again, this is a licensed character, so I know there's like some leeway that I could get away with where it wouldn't be an issue. But also, you know, I'm not too like concerned with like selling stuff, not just yet. I'm more interested in selling models, and I might even have a tier where I have like the Z tools available for people to work on. I've also been considering, and this might be in the future when more and more ZBrush folks kind of pop in, if they're interested, whether they're learners or not, if they're interested in kind of like following along, and we can work on projects together and everyone can have their own version. So maybe turning it into kind of a class in a way. I don't know, things that I've been kicking around that I think might be fun and beneficial for people. But we'll see. Because it's one thing to do like tutorials and stuff like that, but it's another thing to kind of work along with someone, and that might be my point in time where I'm like, okay, now I can maybe have a me Discord where as we're working along, if people have questions and want to share their stuff, I can in real time look at it and give advice or work through solutions if we're like having some difficulties following along. So yeah, I'm just trying to find different ways to develop and engage with the community. Because there's lots of different ways you can handle any given project. And I know I have my way, and it's not going to work for everyone, but there might be people out there that are struggling with kind of the norm or the status quo, and maybe my brain gremlins that have helped me figure out how to work and keep up and do art can help someone else make sense and maybe help them find some success. Do you like Oprah's book club but with sculpting? Yeah, I mean, kind of. It would be more like an online class per se, but I'm not going to be necessarily teaching anybody how to use the software, so there'll be kind of like a base level that would be required. Like I'm happy to help beginners like catch up and go through UI stuff and do that. Sure, no problem. I don't think that's a barrier to entry. But there has to be some fundamental knowledge coming in. All right, look at him. Yay. Let's get this last little fin. It's like kind of back there, right under here. I'll do an inset. Ads are going to start in less than 30 seconds, which is perfect because I'm just wrapping up, I think, this rough in. And then we can do kind of the debrief that I'd like to do after the ads. So for those of you that are about to experience ad time, please stick through, hang out for this last bit of stream. I would really appreciate it. We'll get a good look at Jeff. And then we'll sign off. Oh, those silly ads. They're gonna show up at some point. There we go. All right. Jeff, I think it's just you and me. I think you're my only subscriber. How's it going? Are you familiar with Marvel Rivals before tonight? That's my question. I am curious, like, who is and isn't familiar with the character. You might be familiar with him, like, as far as the comic side of things, but this design is very much video game design. See, not sure how I feel about how you just extruded the cylinder from that area. Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. I didn't put it there. I mean, I did, but not the design. See, familiar through cultural osmosis, but haven't played it. Yeah, I haven't played it either. And I mean, I've considered it, but just like, I can't pick up a new game like that. See, I'm not too familiar with him, but I know him from Rivals. Yeah, I think that's where like he kind of like got his popularity, was through Marvel Rivals. Like he was in the comics, fairly new. I don't know if he actually like started in game first and then they did comic, or if they kind of soft launched comic and then put him in game right away. But just really cute character. If you hear some clicking, got these fun fidgets. I don't know if anybody's seen those Stim Mags, Stim Era. They're very fun. It's a new fidget thing. These are actually ones that I borrowed from a friend. See, nah, he's been around. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure because I hadn't heard much about him before. He actually came with a Marvel Legends figure a ways back. How long is a ways? That's my question. But the fidgets that I have that are my own are these. These are same company. They're magnets, but they're bigger. These are called Dubs. Yeah, 2019 inch. Yeah, I think that's around the time that I heard about him. Oh, maybe no, probably after that, because I didn't hear about him until Comic-Con was back again. So, okay. But yeah, he's still pretty new, though. Relatively. I mean, I know 2019 is still like 6-7 years ago, which is wild. Oh, can't believe it's those numbers. But yeah. Okay, I think the ad break is done, or did it not start yet? No, it's done. Yay! All right, here we are. here's Jeff the Shark. This is what we've done tonight. I think it's a pretty darn good start. Here, let me get his... Let me get the pivot point here. There we go. Yeah, but he's a cute little guy. I'm excited to get the details in, like the gills, get his collar on, get his feet in place, open up his mouth and get his teeth and tongue in there. And so that'll probably be the next stream, as I'll focus on that stuff, getting those additional elements done, opening up his mouth in not exactly the pose, but close to, and getting the tongue in there, figuring out the interior of the mouth, because we'll have to have the gums there to receive the teeth, and put his floppy tongue in there, and then get his collar on. And then, depending on how quickly we get through that stuff, we might do some painting, because I do enjoy doing color. I'm not a big painter, but I've enjoyed at least coloring the characters in ZBrush, because it's fun, it's more interesting to look at, and also it can be helpful in Sculpt, because some elements coincide with the paint, and getting the color in there can be really helpful too. But yeah, before I close it out and sign off, anybody got any questions or anything that they want to talk about or mention before we wrap this up? Here, while you contemplate that all, I will save Jeff right here where he is. But yeah, what y'all thinking? What's on your minds before we wrap up this evening? Who do we got in here? We got Jay in here. Got a lot of Jays. We got Josh, Jester Wedge, who's probably chilling in the background still. I always call him Wedge. Adam, you're still here. And Dukes, the Dookie. All right. Everyone seems pretty quiet, so hopefully you haven't fallen asleep and it's not a shock. Let's see. Early 80s were big for the Jays. Yeah. Well, let's see. Jay, I'm not sure if he's an 80s baby. Same with Wedge. But of course, let's see. Jays, let's go. Where? Wedge, let's see, no, 94. Yeah, I thought you might be 90s. In the communities I have kind of joined, it's, oh, don't ruin it for you. Sorry, Josh. But yeah, the communities that I have joined, it's mostly folks in their mid-20s, mid to early 30s, so that's been an interesting experience, but cool groups of people for sure that I've gotten to meet through Twitch and Discord. But yeah, so this is Jeff. This is as far as we've gotten tonight with Jeff the Shark. I appreciate everyone who swung by, who hung out. Lots of fun chatter tonight. Slowed down a little bit as the night went on, but I think that's a good thing, because we were just cruising through, vibing, having a good time. And yeah, so let's do full me for just a little bit. Thank you again, everyone who swung through. Thank you for hanging out, for chatting, for watching me do this. It's been really nice. Still having a lot of fun streaming, and I will continue to do it. Gonna go watch Randomizer run Majora's Mask now. Oh, fun! Peach I think you meant peace, but peach to you too. And to everybody, have a good night. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll be back again next Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Gonna continue working on Jeff, get some of those elements done that I talked about before. Oh. And yeah, with that, just have a great weekend, have a great next week, and keep creative. Bye, everybody.